Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with the latest and greatest update in regards to how I'm doing with Arena, but as well, the most common teams that I'm seeing right now in the meta. But I also wanted to make this video because this is going to be that pivotal moment here where in the coming weeks, we are going to be seeing a significant meta shift in terms of how that's going to play out here with the Fantastic Four coming into the mix here. But thankfully, we still have a bit of time, guys. Thankfully, in case you missed my past videos as well, the Invisible Woman MCU as well as Mr. Fantastic MCU, they're likely coming into the game before Franklin Richards, which means we still have at least 2 to 3 weeks before the complete meta shifts behind us. Now, having said that, remember, Franklin Richards, he's going to be the most important member of this team, so it won't really matter even if you have Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic unlocked, because what really matters is going to be if you have Franklin Richards built up. His synergy with the other two members is going to be where we start seeing some different teams into the fold here for the arena meta. But in today's video, guys, I want to walk you through once again the two most common opponent types that we're seeing, and as well the counters for each one respectively. So the ones I've been seeing anyways is you'll see this variant, this version here of Mephisto, Gladiator, No, Apocalypse, and Odin. There's some Shadow King ones, but they're not as common as you can see on number 10 there. And then the other one that I do see that's more common is you don't actually see Gladiator on defense. They actually have let's see here. Usually it's, you know, in place of Gladiator, it's another character like maybe Skrull or a Gore. But yeah, those are the two most common ones that I have gameplay footage on. But let me show you the counters, guys. So again, prepare for this in the coming weeks. Thankfully, we don't have to do anything now. But in the meantime, we can take advantage of still climbing up the arenas. And we're doing as well as we can before this entire meta shifts right before our very eyes. 5 most common characters I'm currently using right now. It really depends offensively on what kind of defense you're getting. But what's really helped is, if you guys, in case you guys are in a similar boat to myself, right? I've upgraded my Odin all the way now to Gear Tier 20 because I likely will be bringing him up to Age of X in the final Cosmic Heroes. So that's definitely helped. And you'll see against my opponents, most of them already have Gear Tier 20. So that's really leveled the playing field. Before, I was punching up. Mephisto has been a really good addition here, but as you can see, I don't know if I'm bringing him up yet into Age of X. However, him having that unique unlock here, it does give a lot of bonuses, which is why I like it, because you can see health, damage, focus increase, absolutely massive. Gore is really important for me, and again, that same unique upgrade has helped for respectively just some additional stats. Apocalypse, he was actually part of my villain global for Age of X, so that's why he's actually built up a Gear 220. It's been helping a lot through some of my team synergies. And then Null is dependent on the teams that we get. So you'll see there's going to be 2 fights that we have, one without Null and one with him. But again, Null is probably coming into Age of X with me, hence why you see him almost there in terms of gear progression. And then last but not least, guys, depending on the matchup, you may need to actually bring in Emma Frost, X-Men, as well as Old Man Logan, because there is a version of this team where when we're up against an enemy Odin, they're gonna actually shut down the charges. It's all actually thanks to Old Man Logan's passive here, where the chargeable enemy with the highest damage cannot gain charge before this character takes a turn. So Old Man Logan actually needs to survive the battle until the enemy Odin takes that turn, and that's why it's important to have him in this mix. So those are 2 different matches, guys. Let's get into it. I'll show you the gameplay here and then the strategy for the 2 different teams. And again, I expect this to only last for another couple of weeks here, because this has basically been the meta for the last few months until, once again, the Fantastic Four members complete switch up the meta. So without further ado, let's get started. How I've been able to rank in the top 10 to top 20 for the past few months here. Okay, first matchup here, we're going to be using the Old Man Logan X-Men Emma Frost variant here, as you can see with Gore, Apocalypse, and Odin. Just freezing it here so you can see. But yeah, this is typically the matchup that you want to be up against because it's super easy, especially when the enemy does have a Gladiator with no. This is key because the chance of winning this is a 90 to 95%. So as long as you're playing it correctly. So you want to start things off with Gore's ultimate. You likely won't have any choice because Gladiator will have his taunt, so you can't do anything else besides attacking him. But what you want to be doing is, in the turn order, you should actually be getting your Odin special before the enemy, and then he should be going. And then this is key. You can see right there, boom. the enemy Odin did not gain charges thanks to our old man Logan, his passive, right? So now we have our strong passive attacks, taking them down, but more importantly, with their Odin not having the charges, he's not going to be able to use his ultimate at the same time as us. And you can see how fast the enemies do fall because of the passive attacks from our Odin, and as well getting that boost from Apocalypse. So you can see how fast this matchup actually becomes. Now, it doesn't always become like this. I think there was a bit of a really good RNG and luck here, but at the same time, the key here is this, right? We actually could have used our ultimate right before the enemy could have for their Odin, because he didn't have charges, and you could have completely wiped that team away as well. So very, very easy matchup, as you saw, and that's why it has a very high success rate. Let's talk about the next match now. For this next matchup, we're going to need to switch things up, because usually when you're up against an enemy Mephisto, even if they have Gladiator or not, it's important for us to bring our own Mephisto in for that offensive output. But you'll see he's going to be doing a good job, because he's going to be taking down the enemy Odin with a different kind of approach, even though he's going to be gaining charges without the Old Man Logan variant on our side. So first and foremost, if their enemy Mephisto uses the special, which they likely will, their Odin's actually going to be gaining the taunt. So we can actually use our Mephisto basic ability. You want to use his basic twice, because you can see how much more damage he's actually doing. And the good news is that when you're using our Mephisto, don't use a special, because it places a taunt on our Odin as well. Next, hopefully you should be getting the turn advantage here with Apocalypse. By activating his ultimate, it should be able to cleanse the taunt that's on the enemy Gladiator, and now we have full reign and access to actually taking down the enemy Odin. So that's really the key, guys. Aiming for the enemy Odins as soon as possible, and now it becomes very one-sided, because when your team does have that significant advantage with an Odin still alive on the team with a special and ultimate, it's a very one-sided battle that you're going to be up against here. So again, the other versions I've seen with what's been more common is as well, maybe there's like a Super Scroll being placed in, maybe a Shadow King, but this team has been the most common for my offense, and the strategy remains the same. Obviously, it changes a little bit when the dynamic of a Gladiator does not exist. However, like I said, these are the two most common matches that I've seen anyways from my playthrough, guys. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully these two different offensive options do help. This is how I've been able to, stay in the top 10 for the past few months now. I target those specific teams. Obviously, we can't do anything about Xavier, because he's the top dog right now, and I don't have him unlocked the counter. But yeah, hope this helps, guys. Again, we expect a mana shift in a few weeks here, so enjoy while it lasts. Enjoy as much power cores as you can rake in, and hopefully this is helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.